Yep. They should just sell off like Metal Gear and
there was rumors about that actually. There was rumors that Sony was eyeballing those IPs and whatnot, but I think that was proven like false or something. Unfortunately, which I mean that would be like if Sony could buy those IPs, that would be like perfect for them. Like if they had those exclusives, they would be like set.
yeah.
Because we, now you
Uh,
can go ahead.
I wish Sony would own them, or I wish Sony would own Star Wars, the rights to make Star Wars games. And I realized that would make them console exclusives, but we would get better output than
Yeah.
one good game we got from fucking EA.
That was just like obviously it was published by EA, but at least like the developer was a really competent developer and made a great game. Because
Yeah,
it was the same. What was the studio called? Like they made Titanfall 2 and
Respawn.
Respawn. Yeah, there we go. Because I mean, like EA owns a bunch of studios that have the competence to make a great game. It's just a matter of like it's so rare for like EA like studios to develop something that great.
Yeah,
Just given their incompetence to like realize what people like really want from Star Wars games.
yeah. I want to see what some of Sony's big exclusive companies like. Oh, I want to see what Insomniac could do with Star Wars,
Yeah.
for example.
Maybe try and even bring back one of the canceled games that they were making. Like what was that one game? Star Wars 13. It was like a number or something. It was like a first
1313.
person. Yeah, it was like a first person like shooter or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that sounded like a really cool idea for a game.
yeah. 1313 looked awesome.
Just like there's so many ideas you can do with Star Wars in general that could be something great. And I
And
think
all
that'll
they've
be
done are
some
two
games.
lackluster Battlefront games and one good one.
Yeah, because I think after Battlefront 2's all fiasco with the like the loot boxes and stuff, that was like a huge fucking morale. Like this, people just did not like that shit for good reason too. You had to pay to win, which obviously is a huge thing that has to go away from fucking gaming in general.
Yeah, microtransactions are kind of a cancer on the AAA gaming industry.
And again, unfortunately, EA is really doubling down on that, just for obviously financial reasons, because you can make a lot of money off of it, but it just ruins your credibility with the community, and it's almost not worth it in a way, even if you do make more money off of free to win play models. I think mobile gaming is to blame for that type of shit, though.
Fuck! Fucking hate those guys. So did I tell you that we built a new PC for my dad?
Oh yeah, was that like a home theater PC?
No, it was a new PC, like his
Oh,
main
just in
PC.
general. Oh,
This
okay.
would be way overpowered for a home theater PC. Okay, so his motherboard is an X570, which is better than mine.
For Intel or AMD card or CPUs.
That's
I
AMD.
can't remember. Oh, okay, I couldn't remember. Like you don't use Intel at all.
My laptop has a Intel in it. I think it's a Core i7.
Oh, okay. That's what my old PC used to have.
Oh, okay, I died.
Bring a fire extinguisher.
Oops. Well, I
What was
felt
it? What was the CPU on that one you built?
Uh, Ryzen 7 3800X, which is also a better
Oh,
CPU than mine.
yeah, it's better than mine too.
It's got 32 gig DDR4 RAM.
That's pretty damn nice. I only have 16.
Which isn't as much as mine, but it's plenty for his PC.
Does it do a lot of like video editing and stuff like that, or just like editing in general?
No, I do a lot of video editing, which is why I wanted all that RAM. Obviously, I do a lot of video. Speaking of video editing, I should have mentioned this already, but I finished my video review of Halo 3 ODST for the Xbox 360. So if you guys want to check that out, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, I learned new things from it.
I think it's a good video. I think, and I like ODST quite a bit.
Like I don't know much about Halo, but I remember when it came out, it was a pretty big deal.
Halo 2 just came out for the Master Chief Collection.
Oh yeah, that's right. I need to play the first one on there.
You can play 1, 2, and Reach currently.
Yeah, it's kind of funny seeing all Microsoft's exclusives coming to PC like every time they have a new quote unquote exclusive coming out. Because I mean, it's kind of like that's the other thing about Microsoft. They don't really have exclusives for their consoles anymore. Like all their exclusives come to PC at this point, even like on Steam, even like because they have a Windows store for PC games, but even then they still put it on Steam. It's also kind of hurting them in a way.
Yeah, I worry about that for their future as a console maker. You're putting all your like if you have a good PC, there's pretty much no point in owning a Microsoft console. Now I bought one anyway because I got my 4K television and I wanted a 4K player for that. And I just recently watched all 6 of the X-Men movies that I own on that.
Yeah.
And they do look good upscaled to 4K.
Yeah, that was the main reason why I wanted to get an Xbox One X, just for like the UHD player. Because I have a couple UHD Blu-rays that I obviously can't play on my current hardware.
I'll tell you this. Outside of that, original Xbox and Xbox 360 games, the ones that work on it, look and play significantly better than they do on their original hardware. Look how old school that is.
So that's a freaking flashback.
It's got a 3.5
Nice.
floppy on it.
Floppy drive, yep. Oh man.
Let's see what else. Oh, he had a 500 gig NVMe, which is better than my solid state and will load faster.
Yeah, I think we have the same. I think we have the same SSD in that regard.
Yeah, and
Sounds
then he's
familiar.
got oh, guess who's here?
Oh, that's right, the badass guy. Oh, is he using a mechanical hard drive?
He's got a mechanical SSD for like more storage beyond that. Hey, fat ass.
Fuck this guy. He's not really trustworthy.
You've got to find a security office and override the lockdown.
Yeah, on your honor, you don't have any of that, bud. I played through this game before. I know you're not trustworthy. Come on. And then for a video card, he put in a Radeon RX 570, which isn't as good as my 1660 Ti. But he doesn't. He's not really. He doesn't really play games much, so he doesn't need something ultra fancy like I do. But he's still got the 8 gig version, which has more RAM. So his
That's more than
more
mine.
RAM than mine does, which is kind of weird.
Like, yeah, my 2060 RTX is like 6 gigs, I think, of graphic RAM.
Yeah, mine is stuck in between what yours is and the 2060. What yours is and the 1660 rather.
Yeah, 'cause I have the lowest grade
10
RTX model.
1060. God damn it! I can't fucking speak all of a sudden.
What does he use his PC for?
He
Just for like videos and.
he does a lot of work, like like programming and
Oh, okay.
bug fixing other people's programs and shit like that.
Oh, okay.
Database
That
work,
makes
all
sense
kinds
then.
of stuff. So, like my dad is the one that taught me how to build PCs, so he knows what he's doing when it comes to that.
Yeah, for like the build he's making is really good for that. Then that's good.
Yes, the PC he built in some ways is better than mine, so I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah.
I would love to get an RTX card in mine someday.
Yeah. Kind of wanted to get one of the more higher grade, maybe one of like the TI cards, but I don't know. It's kind of expensive for the build I was making at the time, but
Yeah,
in the future.
RTX is still pretty expensive in general. I would love to have one. Can I break the speaker?
Because
Yes,
I'm
I
sure
can.
ray tracing will be more utilized in the future.
Yeah, its current problem is it's an absolute resource hog. Like, there's a lot of people that bought RTX cards that say, yeah, I don't turn it on all that often because it lowers my frame rate a bunch when I do.
I don't think I ever turned it on. I don't think I ever used the actual ray tracing. Because I mean, I was just so like, I for the longest time I used a fucking GTX 760, and I just wanted to get a new card. So like, I got an RTX 2060 because it was kind of new at the time. It was the cheapest model. So like, just having any new card in general was just good enough for me at that point. So like maybe like,
Well, that was when you built your Ryzen.
Yeah.
You had the store bought before that you built your Ryzen,
like for the one I built, I wanted to get a
which is
really just anything. So I got an RTX 2060, and I mean, it was still like it was like a $2,000 like PC build in general, like overall. But I mean, it's a pretty nice PC for what it is.
yeah. I think you have, if I remember right, you've got a better CPU than I do. I've got a
Yeah, I have
Ryzen 2700, which
Yeah, I have a 2700X. It's an 8-core processor.
yeah, mine's an 8 core as well. It's just a lower clocked 8 core.
Yeah.
I got 2 more. Okay, let's back off and let my shit recharge. But yeah, overall though, I'm real like this is so much better computer than what I had.
Yeah, because I think you had the same video card that I did.
I had a 750 Ti
Yeah.
with 2 gig, and I went from that to a 1660 Ti with 6 gig, and it's so like just putting that in my old 8350 build was a vast improvement.
Is that 6 gigs of video RAM?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so same as mine too. Cause that would honestly probably be around the same as mine.
Why can't I pick that? Oh, I got 10.
Oh, I have max.
Yeah. I didn't realize I had max. But yeah, overall, I've been really, really fucking happy with my new build. It's much
Pretty
more
nice.
powerful than my old one was.
Yeah. Yeah, same here too. Like I'm still gonna get. I'm still probably gonna get the PS5 when it comes out. But like even I can still play like next gen games on my PC. But
Yeah,
I'm still
well,
gonna get the next gen consoles.
yeah. Well, Sony at least is worth it
Yeah,
because they'll have great exclusives that won't come to PC. Nintendo is the same way, that they'll have great exclusives that won't
Yeah.
come to PC.
but there's not as much incentive to get an Xbox in terms of just exclusives in general. Because I mean,
Yeah,
you can
if
still
you
get
have
the
a
same
good
game.
PC, then you can run Xbox games on
Yeah, like
it.
it seems like it seems like Microsoft was kind of going for the whole like having a platform to stream from sort of thing, in a way, like the last gen obviously, but I think they're trying to like get more like they're trying to focus more on games this time, but like at the same time, it's like I don't know. I mean, we'll see how it turns out. But it's just the fact that they don't really have exclusives like in like the traditional sense of the word.
Nope.
Because I mean, that being said, I mean honestly, like I'm all for like games being on like as many platforms as possible. Because I'm all about the consumer getting as like all the types of consumers getting like the same product. I mean, I'm all for that sort of thing. But, like just like in terms of like a practical like marketing move, like having exclusives really like sells certain consoles. I mean, the PlayStation's really proven that over the years with like Bloodborne, Last of Us, and like what have you.
Okay, I know the writing in The Last of Us 2 looks to be not so good, but
Oh yes,
I still
yeah.
want you to play the first one at some point.
Yeah,
The first
I mean,
one is very, very good, and it's got a lot of horror elements to it, like survival horror. The clickers are some of the creepier enemies in the history of video games.
see, I mean, that's on my list of like, yeah, that's definitely on my list of on top of my list of like console games to play. Definitely.
I've been
I
telling
don't
you to
think
play
I've
it for like 4 or 5 years.
'Cause I don't think I still own it, honestly. Because honestly, I mean, obviously I'm going to play the PS4 remaster. Because like, there's like no reason to play the PS3 version anymore.
Yeah, it runs at a higher resolution. If you have HDR on your television, it's got HDR support. If you it runs at 60, which is nice.
Yeah. I think the main thing that sucks in my regard for this game is that I watched my my one friend play like a majority of the first part of the game, so I already know all the things that happen, which kind of sucks. Because I mean, half the reason why some of these like I mean the game is very heavily story based, which doesn't really help in that regard. Because I think the big reason, like I mean, obviously the first part of the game is spoilers for a game that's almost like 6 years old or something. But like
Yeah.
anyway, like Joel loses his daughter at the very beginning of the game. I mean, obviously I know what that. Like, if you don't know if that happens or not, like it's kind of a big like emotional moment.
It really is.
Yeah,
A whole lot of people are like 15 minutes in, tears, you know?
yeah. Like it's like if you don't know that's gonna happen, then it's kind of a like a really emotional moment. But like it's just like if you know that's happening, it's gonna kind of suck. Like you already know it's gonna happen. But even then, I can still enjoy the game. Obviously, I mean, there's still the gameplay itself that there is to enjoy. But
Yeah, the gameplay itself is still pretty good.
yeah,
Well, I'm going backwards, aren't I?
yeah, I think so.
I wish Fear would have gotten released on the Xbox One X with 4K support. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I wish it was kind of. I wish it was released in general, like even like a remaster of sorts. Because it
Yeah.
kind of deserves it in a way.
Yeah, I'm glad Crysis is getting remastered. Like, the original Crysis does not run particularly well on more modern hardware. Like,
Yeah, because I mean, Crysis has always been like the benchmark for like really like high powered like PCs and whatnot.
yeah, and
Like, I think it's
the thought process when it came out was CPUs are just gonna continue to get higher and higher clock speeds, and that didn't happen so much as multi-threading and multi-core expanded.
Yeah.